Welcome back, everyone. We are here with Dr. Julio Reynafarje. I'm sorry if I messed up your name. He's from Peru, and he's here joining us to share his point of view from his corner of the world. Dr. Julio, I'm going to call you the Julio. It's going to be easier.
First of all, great. Thank you very much for the interview. I'm very honored to be here.
How are you doing over there?
Well, we are doing fine right now. We are all stopped. We have been in isolation for about 2 weeks, and we're gonna be in isolation for 2 more weeks, and everything has been stopped over here. All the businesses and everything has stopped for a while, and I think this is gonna make a lot of difference when we are gonna be back to work in about 2 more weeks, and it's gonna be different because people, it's one of the main concerns about the people is how they're gonna go to a dental office when you have to touch. You have many things that can make you infected with this kind of coronavirus that we don't have an exact concept of how it's gonna infect me and how it's gonna work with me. So one of the ways that we have right now is people who is gonna be um, uh, very it's going to be concerned about going to a dentist. So mostly what we are going to have is more emergencies than anything else. No, that's the way I see it right now.
Are you as a dentist or fearful about the future, about seeing patient and just thinking that I might get sick treating those patients? Or do you share that fear, or is that something that is just fiction?
I think the way we are going to treat patients in the future is going to be different. We will have to assume a different approach, and the way we have to do it is because it's going to be despite about the sterilization process of every office, we going to have to be very careful and be very meticulous with the way we do a diagnosis of any illness in the mouth and in the body. We're gonna be recording a lot of background from our patients because we are gonna work together and we more closely with medics and all the people from healthcare than we usually do in the past. I think it's going to be we have to make um, uh, a more medical view than only just teeth. And that's the idea I'm having right now. Diagnosis is going to be very different. We are now, people are investigating and they are doing research about the ways we are doing things with new technologies, and we have to work a lot with new technologies. And the technologies is not only have a CAD cam in your office. Technologies is the way we are going to see the patient, and the way we are going to treat the patient is going to be totally different. Now we are we are going to work very close with like wearables, wearable, and the wearables is going to be part of our work also. AI is working a lot with us, and we have very small attempts in AI in dentistry. We have about 4 or 5 companies who are working right now with AI, and it's small in X-rays, and it's more in diagnosis like caries. But I
It's
think
very funny that you
it's a lot.
mentioned that this will be different, because I was I was spoken with Dr. Paul Wallet this morning. He's in Florida, and he said the same thing. Dentistry has changed forever, and we'll have to rethink everything that we do. But mostly, this is the paradox. We have to reinvest, to think, to advance, while right now we are shutting down our shop and there's no money coming in. Do you have in Peru any help from the government to just try to get through this hard period?
Excuse me, you tell me about
Do you
if
have
we
any
have
help, any financial help from your government to help you keep your dentists and your clinics not open, but at least afloat?
not really. We the only thing we have is we have an association like ADA, like American Dental Association, right here in Peru, and they are working. I'm working very close with them, and when we see the whole thing, the whole process for the dentist is going to be a little bit different because we have to make them to make some courses and some teach them how to have the how do you say it that people have confidence to come to a dentist again, and that's something we are going to have to work a lot with these kind of associations of dentists and make a lot of marketing and make a lot of things that make that people can be confident to go to a dentist again.
Confidence, I think that's the key that everybody's mentioned here. And there's one thing that I like to underline here. It's we have time. We have at least 2 weeks to a month in front of us to think of this. If we can just
Yes.
look ahead, because I think that to us dentists, the worst is coming. It's not here yet. Let me share with you, because I've been speaking with a lot of people, and one of the idea came on the table to start teledentistry. Mainly, you mentioned it, the diagnosis has to be different. I think that one of the first things we might have to do is to start to see our patient online through a webcam, just like we're doing now. But I don't know about Peru, but a lot of countries have not accepted that kind of medicine yet. How about the legislation of Peru?
I think it's going to change. I think it's going to change a lot because many people will have to work with a computer or just a cell phone or a mobile phone. And the idea is to make it's like this interview. You have to talk to your dentist, you have to talk to your medical doctor, and you have to feel the doctor and feel that you are safe with this doctor. And one way is doing just in front of us. And another thing is going to be like we call telemedicine, that it's going to be we have to use this kind of equipment or make this kind of equipment to that everybody can take this kind of wearables, this kind of things that helps people to monitor, to follow our patients from a long distance and tell them when they have to come. And this kind of technology is right now, it's many companies that are working with right now. And I think that we have a everything that you have in the States and everything that you have in Canada, we already have it over here also. And internet helps us a lot. And I think that soon we are going to be more close like we're doing right now. We are
That's the only place safe right now. Without coronavirus, is the internet.
Yeah. It's like that.
The other idea I want to share with you is at this stage, I think that for the first time in our lifetime, everybody's interest is online. We don't have to compete anymore. We have to share. The other idea that came on board just with another doctor that I was speaking with is we do have about a month in front of us with nothing to do except to worry. And we all have to spend time in continuous education. So his idea was, how about we bank all of our hours for the next 3 years, because we won't have time to go to do anything else than to work. that we're gonna take advantage of the next month to make all the hours we needed for 3 years. And I'm sending the idea here because I think that with ideas, this is how we're gonna just get out of this alive. What do you think of this?
Well, I think we have to I'm very optimistic of how we are going to get out of this crisis right now. I've been reading a lot about the papers that Dr. Didier Raoult is doing in France, and some doctors from Germany are doing in China, and many things, many works that are talking about the future of this virus and the way we are gonna have a vaccine, we are gonna have a cure for this kind of virus. I think I'm very optimistic because I see the light in the end of the tunnel, and I think it's going to be sooner than later. And in the future, in works they are working in Germany right now with alpha ketoamides. It's something very very interesting. The kind of work they are doing, and it's gonna be good sooner than later. And what we have over here, and what this kind of isolation and this kind of threat that we are having right now is to be, as I told you before, it's to be more meticulous with the kind of treatment that we are doing, and we have to gain this kind of confidence that the patients have in us, and the way we're going to treat them, and be more close to that person, as a friend. And I think is one of the things that dental professionals have, and they are more like not only a doctor. It's more like a it's a social friend that we have it's a social relationship that we are having with our patients, and sooner or later patients will come back to our office. But I think that more important is not to lose the link between the doctor and the patient. It's very important to work with our patients, be close to them, to give them a call and say, I'm worried as you are worried, but I'm here. If you need me, I'm here, and I'm going to help you anyway.
I can agree with you because right now, you know that there's a paradox here. We all know that there's going to be more and more filter between us and our patient, more protection, even maybe a screen or a camera. So it's, if there's one time to be human with your patient, it's now. And you say it with charm. It's like, if there's a time for you doctors to all be human, it is now, because the filters will just be multiplied between you and your patient. So if you don't have that warmth, you'll be replaced soon. This is, I think, it's not the right time to bring more on the table than the panic that's already there, but it is a reality because people will be seeing us different from now on.
Yes, it's totally different. I think the approach is going to be totally different, and it's much more of concern. Despite of all technologies that we use, the kind of sterilization that we do in our work, and the kind of technologies that we are using, like Alcama or whatever you have, and yeah, I think more than that is the way we are close to our patients and the way we concerned about them. And there's something that we have to 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 be very close to them, and the ways that we, all the people, feel like they have someone who is taking care of them. And that's the idea. And I think it's something that we are seeing in Italy, we are seeing in Spain right now, what we saw in China in the last 2 months before that we have in this. And it's something that have changed, and the way we are doing it is more human. the kind of medicine and the kind of treatments that we do are more human than anything, and that's the idea.
I have a last question. If
Yeah.
you, Julio, as a dentist, will have to take this crisis on your shoulder and say, "This, how I'm gonna get out of this one ahead." What kind of hope? Because you said that you're an optimistic person. What kind of hope and what kind of a wind of change, more than being human, would you bring to this profession? Meaning that in 2 weeks from now, you'll be back at work. What kind of hope are you bringing with you?
I think what I see is to when I arrive to my office in 2 more weeks, the first thing I'm gonna do is call all of my patients. Say, as you say, is how do you do? Are you fine? Everything is gonna be different. When you need me, I'm here, and we are gonna have two different approaches.
You're gonna call them
And
personally.
the personal approach, you have to be. Don't worry about us. Don't worry about our sterilization process. You don't worry about the technologies that we have. You don't have to worry. We have to take care a lot. We have to take care of you as a doctor, a medical doctor, than just a dentist, just a dental professional. And we have to work a lot with more closer with our patients. We have to work more closer with the medical staff that we have close, and we have to be very a different approach about the backgrounds that we have from each patient. And I think that that's the way it's going to be a different kind of work that we're going to have in the next month. It's not going to be easy, but I think it's going to work fine in a few months.
What a wisdom. You have a dentist here that's going to say that as soon as he's going to be back at his office, he's going to take the phone and call each of his patients. How can you be more human than this? And I think that this is a great lesson of humility here. If we want to keep the trust, you have to take the time. This is what we learned today with Dr. Rafar Najee. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad with names, but I hope that I didn't screw our friendship. Julio, Julio, this is the friend I made in Peru, and he's bringing us his wisdom. And thank you so much to have taken the time to join us. From the bottom of my heart, and from everybody who's seeing this, I hope that they have something out of it. I hope that we're going to keep in contact so we can help each other, because I think that for the first time in the history of our lifetime, competition is out, and now it's about collaboration, because everybody needs to share the stage. And if you can help us, we can help you. We learn something. Everything will go faster, because right now we have to beat the virus. And this virus is killing us right now. Having us hard. For you, thank you so much.
Thank you very much to you. I'm very honored, and I'm here. I'm here in Lima. I hope to meet you in person soon. And
everybody, if you go to Lima, go see Julio.
Be my guest, and I hope to meet you and see you again with other topics or whatever you want to talk about education, about AI, or whatever you want to talk.
I'm pretty sure that within the next days, we're going to arrive with a lot of people who like to share. And one of the things we might have is to have those continuous education set up online. I'm going to force it's going to be for free, because right now is a time for sharing. And if we're going to charge something, the fund has to go back to people who needs it the most at this stage, the in crisis. But the idea happened this morning. And since things are going on, and everybody I'm speaking with, I'm forcing their hands, saying, yeah, you want to join? But tell me, if we're still alive, by the end of this crisis, we would have changed the way that we communicate and see each other. That's for sure.
Yeah, sure. And we have to laugh. We have to be very optimistic, and we have to do things. We have mostly what we need is positive thinking, and I think it's gonna work a lot with all the people that we are related to. So the idea is that to be positive, to be really confident with the kind of work that we're doing, and it's gonna pass. It's gonna pass, and coronavirus is gonna be part of history, and that's it.
Doctor, the best of luck and see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this interview. Thank you.